Hello, Mr. Rivera. Is it okay if I call you James?
You can call me whatever the hell you want to call me. Vampiro, James, asshole, whatever.
Come on. Well, I cannot call you Vampiro because the sun is still up in Houston and we are talking.
Yes, I know, and I'm not even supposed to be out right now, but
There you go.
I
So,
I I got a special sunscreen from Transylvania, and they told me, hey, you can go out only for 2 hours with this sunscreen, but after that you burn.
okay, good, good. Just get better sunscreen next time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me start. I'm Dimitris, by the way. I'm calling from Chicago and from Metalkaoz. And it's so fun watching a Helstar in 2024 in Hell's Heroes.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're in Chicago.
I am in Chicago, yes.
Oh, I thought you were in Greece for some reason.
For some reason, well, my Greek name gives that away, right?
Yeah, well, your accent.
Oh, sure, sure. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. Thank you for pointing this out.
No, it's I love the Greek accent though. It's nice. Very
Okay,
nice and pleasant. Yeah.
perfect. So let me start. So
Okay.
last summer, the band announced that Andrew Atwood was leaving.
Yes.
So first of all, was this during while the band was writing, working on the new album?
Yes. It actually was, which is what took longer to finish the record because we had to replace I think a total of 4 songs.
Oh, that's
Um,
okay.
Yeah, he had like 4 songs for the new record, and it's not that we didn't like them. They were, I mean, they're typical Hellstar. I mean, you saw what he did for Vampiro, and
Mhm.
he's basically you know, he's Hellstar born and natural, But I think what happened was is that Larry just didn't feel comfortable keeping his songs, although he said we could keep them.
Okay.
We just said, we'll just, he just said, thank you, but no thanks, because that kind of stuff can come and bite you in the ass later. Like, I mean, we just learned through we learned through history and things, and look what happened to Mustaine and Metallica,
Mm.
So yeah, we didn't want to face any of that. And Larry said, I've got material, man. And I said, really? And he goes, yeah, I've got material in the treasure chest. He goes, I would just feel more comfortable just writing the record completely without him if he's not going to be in the band anymore.
So wait a minute. Larry was hiding stuff from you?
Yeah. what a cheating wife, right? I'd have beat his ass. Yeah, who you messing around with? Yeah.
What is he doing? I mean, because frankly, the album is a solid one. It's killer. So
Yeah.
unless he was keeping this stuff for the next album, I'm done. I don't.
No. Well, in all honesty, in his defense, some of it was already written for something else we were supposed to do, but it never got used for a soundtrack, a movie soundtrack.
Oh,
And
really? But do tell.
so yeah, around the same time that we recorded the single when we put out that single Black Wings of Solitude, which now that's already been 4 or 5 years ago now. I don't even remember.
Five.
We wrote two other songs for this movie, and they never got used. Well, one of them actually ended up on the Black Clad in Black EP, which is Across the Raging Seas, but we rewrote the words
Mm-hmm.
and made it a little bit more to fit, Hellstar as we should be. And then what was supposed to happen is that we were supposed to, the single, the EP was a build up to this is the new Hellstar with a few little teasers, and all those songs were supposed to end up on the Devil's Masquerade. But we decided not to do that. We
Uh,
decided, no, that's kind of being lazy. And I think the fans deserve a whole new album. They've already heard that stuff. So, you know what? It's not going to get any better. I mean, I don't know what else we can do to it. Like, okay, I already heard this. The Black Wings of Solitude for the third time. So yeah, it didn't make sense. So that's why we got busy writing a whole new record. But then when the whole incident with Mr. Atwood exiting the band, it delayed more because Larry said, well, I even got more stuff. And I'm like, oh. So he started sending me the stuff, and we just got busy writing. and knocked it out.
So what about that movie? They didn't use the stuff that you wrote, or the movie was never fulfilled?
The movie never came out.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it did, but it was supposed to be a premiere at the theaters and all that. And I guess I don't know anything about producing movies and stuff like that, but I can imagine that it's probably the same headache with the music business, and and it might even be worse for all I know.
Yeah.
But I think that they did premiere the movie like on just a streaming thing, but it was something very small. And it did, but I never saw it. So other than that, it never did anything.
So basically, you don't feel bad that this collaboration didn't go through, right?
No, not at all. Not at all, because we needed this stuff now. And I always have this saying that things happen for a reason, and that's just the way I like to look at life that way, because it makes you feel better when things don't go right.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the back of your mind, you always say, well, maybe it didn't quite happen the way it was supposed to, but maybe there'll be something else out of it later on. And then sure enough, you're surprised and like, oh, well, see, it happened for a reason.
Well, you can only say that after the fact, right? Just by
after the fact. Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's okay. I love that attitude. I wish I had the same.
Well, yeah.
So, how fast, or what did you do before getting to the fast part? Found Alan DeLeon Jr. Sorry for that.
Oh, DeLeon Jr. Yeah. Well, so how that happened, Alan, and actually it's pronounced Alan. Yeah, Alan DeLeon Jr. He has been a family member to me personally pretty much all his life. Wow. So his dad used to play in a band called Regime. I think their demo actually made it to Europe. Not quite sure. But they used to open up for Helstar back in the Nosferatu days a lot. Mm-hmm. And yes, of course, he's a shredder from hell. And he got out of the music business altogether, just like a lot of people did in the 90s because of the grunge scene, and started a family, and years went by, and then we kept in touch. And then every year for my birthday, he would always call me and say, hey, birthday boy, okay, what day are you free this week? Tia Maria's. Tia Maria's is our favorite Mexican restaurant here in Houston, where I take a lot of my friends. So next time I have to take you there. Once I take you there, you'll be like, oh man, I ain't never going to another Mexican restaurant ever, Okay. So we would go every year religiously for my birthday. So I saw Junior since a baby, since he was elementary school, since he was junior high school, since he was high school, up to a little bit of college. And then the next thing you know, he's a grown man, and he's been playing guitar since he's 5 years old. So he's an extraordinary player because he was raised on Helstar all his life. He's been listening to Helstar since he was in his crib. That when the opportunity came, Alan Sr. called Larry right away. And then he called me, and he kept calling us almost every day. Like, man, please give Junior the shot, and we were getting demo tapes from other band members around the world. Actually, we even had people that wanted to try out as far as Denmark and Sweden.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. And so, of course, we were very, what's the word I want to use? We were very honored, and, just we felt good, like, oh, wow, But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, shit, how are we going to rehearse with these guys? I mean, we heard some really good stuff. And I said, man, I really just want somebody here at home because it's easier, And Larry goes, yeah, but we ran out of ideas for guitar players here. Although we know a bunch of good ones, but it just because you're a great guitar player doesn't necessarily mean you're going to fit.
Correct. Yes.
The style that or what we represent now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we almost brought back Eric Halpert, who would have been, he was the next runner-up candidate. The only problem that we saw there is that Eric Halpern has gotten so successful, mainly with this Foreigner tribute, and he makes a lot of money with that tribute. And they play like every weekend. And so we just sort of saw it like, man, we can't tell him, hey, dude, you're going to have to cancel your $5,000 gigs for a month because we got to go on the road. There was just some things like that, and but after a while of just, talking to Larry, and I said, dude, man, I think Junior's the dude, man. He goes, I know, man, but he's so young. He's 40 years younger than us. I said, I know, but he's not a kid, man. Trust me. I know him. He's like hanging out like with one of us. He's so fun to be around. He's very mature. And he goes, all right, I'll give him a shot. So he got in touch with Junior, and he said, all right, learn Baptized in Blood, learn Black Cathedral. He gave him the hardest songs to learn, of course. And then Alan says, well, I don't need to learn them. I already know them.
Oh.
He goes, oh, okay, well, then come over and show me. So he came over to play guitar with Larry, together, and they ran through those songs like nothing, like butter, on a hot day. And then Larry was like, wow. So then he goes, hey, man, you want to hear the new material? And then, of course, Junior said, yeah, of course. Well, he started playing him the new material. And the next thing you know, he goes, hey, man, why don't you push record?
Really?
And so Junior recorded 3 solos right out the gate on the new record, right there and then.
Damn.
I know. And so him and Larry hung out till 3 a.m, drinking beer, making burgers on the grill, and just having the time of their lives. And he says, man, you're absolutely right. I love this guy.
Wow.
So yeah, Larry sent a text the next day to the rest of the band, and he says, guys, we have our new guitar player. And that was it.
So 2 things, 2 takeaways. This was the longest audition ever, since you know Alan from when he was a baby, right?
Yeah.
So you have been auditioning him from the get-go, from the start.
As a person and everything else, yes. I never really got to see him play much until he was in the band. But then he became an instructor at the School of Rock, which is a big deal here in the U.S. I'm sure you've heard about it.
Yes.
So he was he ran a School of Rock and everything. So at that point, I realized, well, wait a minute, we have a prodigy here. And so the pleasure of knowing him all my life. I mean, he's like a son to me too. It's really weird. I feel like we're related, but we're not. But hey, I'll take it. But that's just really the beauty of the whole story.
Oh, it's in fact hearing that he was right away started contributing to the sound of Helstar and the new music. I mean, I haven't heard another story like that. A new member contributing from the start right away. So
right away, yeah.
You know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So for the mastering of the album, you chose to work with Rob Caldwell, right?
Oh yeah, yes.
So why this choice?
Well, we were actually going to have Bill Metoyer do it again. Mm-hmm. To have an old school name, like old school band, old school name, probably would have made a little bit more of a dent in the world. But at the end of the day, we liked Caldwell's mastering more. Okay. And it gave it that really, really heaviness that Larry was looking for. And he's up and coming, so it's kind of like new guitar player, new guy that's going to probably master the next records for God knows how long. Larry will always now mix, produce, and now we have a chemistry that we can just sort of relax and go, everything's right here in Texas now.
Perfect. What about the cover artwork? You work with Kai.
Again, yes. Yeah, he did the Vampiro Kai. Yeah, so he's permanently going to be my artist as well, too, now. Oh, I just love his work, Yeah, I mean, I mean, that new album cover is like everybody's just like, dude, this is the best album cover you guys have ever had. And wait till you, I mean, the T-shirts that it makes, people are flipping out on that. You know, like, wow, you know, this is killer.
So how much input did you give him since you've worked with him in in Vampiro?
Well, you know, he always wants to know the titles of the songs, the title of the record, most importantly. And then he goes from there, and we just let him run his imagination, you know.
Perfect.
So, especially when he came up with that cover, all we did was said the Devil's Masquerade, and the next thing you know, he sent me that, and I'm like, wow. yeah, that's it, my friend.
Okay, let's talk about the album itself. First of all, it starts with the intro, right? So I always wonder, how do you name an intro? And I will ask the same thing.
You know,
instrumental.
Well, it's just because it should have a name. It's part of the beginning of the opening track, but it is its own little thing. And sometimes, really, at the end of the day, when you start thinking about the layout of your record, it gives you just another title to add into the record, so it doesn't look so short. You know what I mean? But Larry came up with that title. And the only thing that I wish on that, I wish that it was maybe another measure longer. I seem to feel that it's very, very short.
I agree.
Especially if when we play live, what if something goes wrong and Mikey's pedals are not quite ready yet? You know what I mean? And yes. So, and Larry's not very fond of long intros, but and we always bicker about that. And he's like, dude, but that intro is way too long. Well, the reason why is because I think he's starting to understand it a little bit more, is that when you're the singer, you're the front man, everything has to be dramatic. Yeah. And you want a big opening before you walk out on that stage. And maybe it's a little bit of I wish I was a movie star kind of ego, you know, but when I walk out on that stage, I like for the crowd to already be on their toes. And then I walk out very calmly, or I come out of a coffin or whatever the hell I do, you know? So, but yeah, so I that's the only thing, is that I thought the intro was a little short, but I think that if what we do now is we sort of combine the two intros. And I think that's what's working very well.
Okay. Well, yeah. give Larry 40 years more, he will get around.
Yeah.
And since you mentioned the coffin, I love the joke that you made in Hell's Heroes, the previous one, where you said, well, coffins were not made for people to get out of, because you were having a tough time getting out of that.
Yeah. They're only made to be put in them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you know what it is that it was very deep. If I was taller, like a typical European guy with long legs, then it probably wouldn't have been a problem. But once they put me in there, I mean, dude, I could have fell asleep in there and turned all kinds of directions. It was deep. Yeah.
Okay, so are you a Twilight Zone fan?
Oh my God, are you kidding me, my friend? No. Every year, yes, every year on New Year's Eve here in America.
Yes, I know what you're going to say.
Every 4th of July on the Sci-Fi station, they do a Twilight Zone marathon.
Yes.
And you get to see all the good old episodes. Those were the best, man. You know, they were killer. So, of course, I'm a huge Twilight Zone fan. I can tell you some of my favorites. But, of course, you'll probably get into the next question of the Truth of Staff, which was about when the guy let the devil out, that's a killer one.
However, I would love to hear what are your favorite episodes, a couple of.
Oh, man. So it's a combination of storylines. It might even be a combination of the beautiful, hot actresses back then, the
Mm.
retro women. One of my, okay, as far as demented, one of my favorites is Talking Tina. Hi, I'm Talking Tina, and I don't like you.
Oh my good. That was
The
so annoying and so terrifying at the same time.
Well, he was a mean father, you know. So yeah,
Yes.
see, he got what he deserved, you know. And it's like, "Hi, I'm Talking Tina, and I love you," to the little girl at the dinner table. "Hi, I'm Talking Tina, and I don't think I like you very much."
And I love that you started with the episode that, well, Telly Savalas was Greek, right?
Yeah, dude, he's a great
Yeah.
actor, dude. He was the best. I loved him when I was a kid, you know. And so it's kind of like that's one of my favorites. There's just tons of them. I love the one where the guy, I think it's called I'm trying to think of the name of the title, but he's sent to another planet, and that's the way they sent people to prison back then.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know
And
what.
and so then they he's up there for so many years, and then they bring him a gift, and it's that beautiful robot
Yes,
that
yeah.
he falls in love with, and Lisa, and he say, "You're not even human." Then he falls in love with her, and then they're like, "Hey, guess what? You've been pardoned, man. You're going home." "Oh, great. Go get our stuff, Lisa." "Oh, hold on a second. What? There's only enough room."
For
"Well,
one.
we can't leave her here." Yeah, he's like, "We can't." "No, you have no idea. I love her. She's not even human." Then the guy shows him, he shoots her in the face. It's like that was a weird episode. Oh, and the one where the parents they get drunk and they end up in that little village, and
With
they're and
the
there's
giant, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, let
Oh,
me
there's
tell
so
you,
many cool episodes,
let me
man.
tell you my all-time favorite, and
What's
this is a little bit sadistic episode, I will say. Time enough at last.
Oh, when the guy's like he could read all the books he
Yes,
wants.
man. And then, come on,
He didn't even know that the damn world ended with the nuclear war, and
right?
he's in that thing, and he comes out on the steps, and there's like, oh, what's
Uh,
going on? Oh, but that's even worse. His glasses break, so now he can't even read no more. You know?
yes, that was so sad. I don't know. It's sad.
Oh, I know. I felt so sorry for him. He's like, I have all these books, but I can't read no more. Yeah.
So, why did you pick the Howling Man to write lyrics?
Well, we picked it. Hey, you're the first person that knew the real title of that. And we were actually going to call the song The Howling Man.
Oh,
It
really?
was titled that already. But when we started getting close to the end, Larry likes to keep people in suspense. And
Hmm.
he said it would be too much of a giveaway. And I said, "Oh," he goes, "but the staff of truth." And I go, "You remember that was the thing that kept
Yeah,
him
yeah,
locked up."
yes.
I know. And the thing was no bigger than a damn fork, which was really weird.
Well, it
Wow.
were, I don't know, maybe you can say it was something else that was holding the devil in.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Because I kept thinking, like, well, that's a little bitty thing to keep the devil locked up. Jesus, it's no bigger than some chopsticks. What the hell? So, but yeah, so, yeah, and then, of course, it fit the chorus better. So that's how it is when we start writing. And then I came up with the majority of the words for that song. But when we got to the end, he goes, and that's where you can say, the days locked away, held by the staff of truth. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it fit, so that the title fit perfect.
Yeah, the Howling Man doesn't sound like a great sentence to use.
Yeah, that sounds like another movie or something else. You know what
Mhm,
I mean?
mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, I am the way. I have to ask about that. So you have an all-star guest list there.
Well, what ended up happening is that I always, it's always been one of something, as you want to call it, on my bucket list.
Mm.
And I always thought, man, I want to do something one day and collaborate some of the best singers from Texas, because we're a legion, South Texas Legion, as it is. But the idea spawned from Dio's "We're Stars."
Oh, where's
Exactly.
that? Yes.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, but of course he had guitar players too and singers. And I didn't want to make it that complicated and make the song, 30 minutes long. So I just said, no, I want to get the best singers. Larry loved the idea because all of us have been really, really good friends. Well, since all of us have started, we've been friends for 4 decades.
Mm.
It wasn't a very complicated thing to do. It was a matter of just calling Jason McMaster. Hey, this is my idea. Dude, I'm fucking in, man. Hell yeah. Mike Solis. Oh, dude, are you serious? Oh, hell yeah. And then Rob Lowe with his deep Texas accent. You got to be fucking kidding me, man. Hell yeah, man. And then, of course, Travis Willis. Oh, yeah, man. Fuck yeah. It was all like, it basically was it was an instant interest right out the gate. And I said, but look, you know what? It'll be one of the biggest metal anthems for bands at our genre and our tier of what we do here in Texas.
Did you write all the vocal melodies for them?
I wrote everything, yes.
Okay.
And so all I did was, I wrote all the words. And then what I did was I recorded the first verse and, of course, the chorus. And I said, so just that you don't have to do everything exactly the same, but as long as the verse, it's similar, the timing, the cadence, I don't care what you do with it. And everybody just did a fucking killer job. I mean, they just blew doors on it. And it turned out to be better than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. I just love it.
What about the lyrics? Is it Lucifer talking in this song?
You see, now here's where everything is like, okay, now I see what's happening here. So when Larry, that was one of the songs left over that was supposed to be on the movie.
Uh-huh.
And Larry actually wrote the majority of the lyrics, and he wrote idea. So it is supposed to be about Lucifer.
Oh,
but then I said, what if we take it a step further? And he goes, what do you mean? Like, well, I said, I see the song being about a legion of vampires that are tired of mortals running the world, and they're going to take over now. And he's like, I go, but think about it. Who is Dracula's boss? Lucifer. Okay, well, that's Lucifer's army. And then he likes it. He's like, oh, now I see where you're going with this. So it's a combination of Lucifer and vampires. So I get to have my happiness and he gets to have his happiness.
Perfect.
I don't know why Larry's infatuated with the devil, but he is, So, and he knows I love vampires. I go, so yeah, let's just meet halfway in the middle. All right. Yeah.
Perfect. Live, you have a song September 27th with Watchtower, right? In Texas.
Yes, El Paso.
Then you start. I don't know if you have other dates until you start the European tour in November.
Yeah. We have so Watchtower September 27th. Then October October 18th in Austin, Texas with Militia. It's a headlining show.
Mm-hmm.
And then October 24th with Crimson Glory.
Ooh.
in San Antonio, Texas. And right now our buddies from Hell's Heroes, which they're all family.
Mm-hmm.
They're all working on the Houston show before the year is up.
So East Coast when?
East Coast probably not till the new year.
Okay, so I will hold you on that for Chicago. Just make a note of that. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
And you have, as I said, the European tour, and you start in Greece. That's awesome. Are you taking other bands with you, or are you gonna use local bands?
No, I think there's gonna be local support all the way around. Okay. There was some bands that there's a lot of bands that always want to go as as a support act for the whole thing, but and that's a double-edged sword. Sometimes if it's a band that people really, really want to see, then it makes sense. Whereas a band that's coming, like this band that wanted to come with this, it's not like it's completely off the table, but they're from the US. When the agent told me about them, I said, oh yeah, they're a classic metal band. I forget the name of them now, but they had been around for a while. Oh, Goblin or something like that. I think that's what it's called. And I said, well, how come I never heard of them? He's like, well, they. I go, so when that happens, I'm kind of like, well, are they really going to add anything to the show?
Mm.
To be honest, my attitude is this: like, whatever local band it is in that area, they're probably very passionate that they're going to open up for Helstar. They feel great. And so what if they only have 20, 30 friends? But
Mm.
they may have 20, 30 friends more than that band from the US that nobody knows.
Right.
So you see, that's kind of my attitude with that.
You could have 7 witches or Shadow Keep, right?
And then do a double whammy. There you go.
A
I
double or
know.
triple.
Yeah. Well, see that then what I tell my friends is I'm like, well, my mother did breastfeed me, so I don't need that much attention.
So are those two bands active?
No, not any. Well, not as of right now.
Okay.
We were supposed to do another Witches record, but it didn't happen. So
Okay. James, it's been a pleasure.
thank you. It's been a pleasure too.
My first time talking to an actual vampire, so thank you. Appreciate that.
And we'll get together soon when you get back here to Texas, and we'll have a good time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, you know what? You take care of yourself, buddy, and we'll stay in touch. And long
Absolutely.
live the metal. And thank you, my brother. Okay.
Absolutely. Have a great rest of your day, man.
You too. Bye bye.